Today, I'll take a comprehensive look at recent developments in the hydrogen sector, with a special focus on our incredible experience at the World Hydrogen North America Conference. Before diving into the latest industry updates, I'd like to extend a heartfelt thank you to S&P Global for partnering with us at the World Hydrogen North America Conference, held last week in Houston, Texas. It was a phenomenal experience bringing together industry leaders, innovators, and policymakers to advance the hydrogen economy. We're deeply grateful for the opportunity to collaborate with S&P Global and look forward to continuing and growing this partnership in the years ahead. Today's episode builds on the momentum from the conference, exploring two significant developments in the hydrogen sector. First, I'll discuss the EU's recent €600 million funding call for hydrogen and carbon capture infrastructure, a major step towards cross-border energy integration. Then, I'll examine Fourier's innovative approach to hydrogen electrolyzers, drawing inspiration from data centers to drive down costs and enhance efficiency. All of this on today's Hydrogen Podcast. The first segment reflects some of the key takeaways from the World Hydrogen North America Conference, where the hydrogen industry's brightest minds convened to chart the path forward. The conference was a highlight of the year for us. On April 1st, I had the privilege of chairing the B Stream, which covered low-carbon hydrogen production, derivatives, and infrastructure development. Hearing insights from all the speakers was nothing short of incredible, offering a deep dive into the challenges and opportunities shaping the hydrogen landscape. A special note was the chance to hear Chris Duffy, Baytown Blue Hydrogen Venture Executive at ExxonMobil. His thoughts on the current landscape of hydrogen, particularly ExxonMobil's advancements in blue hydrogen production, were both insightful and inspiring, providing a clear vision of how large-scale projects can drive market growth. And day two was equally remarkable, as I had the honor of moderating a panel on financing hydrogen projects, the bankers and investors' perspective. The insights provided by Marion from the Hy24 Infrastructure Fund and Polo from Citi were invaluable, shedding light on the financial strategies and risk mitigation approaches critical to scaling hydrogen initiatives. I'd also like to extend a huge thank you to Paul Browning from the Energy Transition Finance for stepping up when we needed him most. Paul, your experience in project development in hydrogen brought incredible depth to the discussion, and we're so grateful for your contribution. And also, a massive thank you to Lucy Rankin for ensuring everything ran smoothly throughout the conference, and to Charlotte Griffiths for all your help in getting us set up. Your efforts made this event a resounding success. And lastly, I want to thank all the listeners I met for introducing themselves to me and letting me know what this show means to you. Hearing your kind words and learning more about your industries and involvement in the hydrogen economy gives me hope. The second segment today examines a development reported by Upstream Online on April 4th of 2025. The EU opens €600 million funding call for carbon capture and hydrogen infrastructure. The European Union has launched a €600 million, or approximately $660 million funding round under the Connecting Europe Facility, or CEF, for energy, managed by the Climate Infrastructure and Environment Executive Agency, or CINEA. This initiative targets cross-border hydrogen and carbon capture projects, classified as projects of common interest, or PCIs, linking EU countries, or projects of mutual interest, PMIs, extending to non-EU neighbors to enhance energy security and market integration. The EU has a history of supporting energy infrastructure, with a prior €1.2 billion round in February of 2025, of which $258 million went to the CO2 storage, this per Carbon Herald. This latest call focuses on hydrogen pipelines, electrolyzers, storage, carbon capture, and CO2 transport. A typical project might involve a 100-megawatt electrolyzer producing 1,800 tons of green hydrogen annually, or about 5 tons a day, requiring 100 gigawatt-hours at 50 kilowatt-hours per kilogram, paired with a 500-kilometer pipeline, or $500 million at $1 million per kilometer, to transport 1,000 tons a day. Alternatively, a carbon capture project could sequester 1 million tons of CO2 a year, using 2,000 kilometers of CO2 pipelines and storage in depleted reservoirs, per the Global CCS Institute. Water used for electrolysis is 10 liters per kilogram, or 18,000 liters a day, often sourced via desalination at 50 cents per 1,000 gallons, while CCS requires minimal water, but 1 to 2 kilowatt hours per ton CO2 for compression. Economically, the 600 million euros can fund 3 to 5 projects, each costing $1 to $200 million. A 100 megawatt hydrogen project generates $5.4 million per year at $3 per kilogram, with costs netting $400,000 profit without subsidies. The EU's 40% capex credit reduces cost to $60 to $100 million, boosting IRR to 15%. A CCS project capturing 1 million tons per year at $50 per ton yields $50 million, with $20 million profit, or a 20% IRR. Jobs include 500 to 1,000 per project, adding $50 to $100 million to local economies, this per EU estimates. The EU hydrogen market, or $20 billion in 2025, aims for $100 billion by 2030 per McKinsey, with this funding supporting 1 to 2 gigawatts of capacity, or 10% of the EU's 20 gigawatt target. This initiative strengthens energy security by integrating markets. As an example, pipeline linking Germany and France could supply 500,000 tons per year, reducing reliance on imported hydrocarbons. However, the establishment narrative of rapid decarbonization overlooks challenges, such as electrolyzer costs and CCS scaling, both of which require sustained investment. Still, this funding call is a critical step, echoing the collaborative spirit we saw at World Hydrogen North America. The third segment explores an MSN article from April 2nd. Fourier is making hydrogen electrolyzers inspired by data centers. Fourier, a startup, has developed a modular electrolyzer system modeled on data center architecture, targeting 6 to 20 kilograms per hour for industries like pharmaceuticals, petrochemicals, and ceramics. Their design, fitting into 2 server racks, uses 20 small electrolyzer blades, each fed by a shared water pump and powered by retrofitted data center power supplies, reducing costs by leveraging mass-produced components. Fourier's system mirrors data center battery management, monitoring each blade's performance to tweak output and detect degradation, ensuring 80,000-hour durability. 2 lab-scale pilots have been tested with a pharmaceutical manufacturer and solar company, with commercial pilots planned at a petrochemical plant in Ohio and an airline parts manufacturer in Fremont, California. Fourier targets $6 to $7 per kilogram, having the $13 to $14 per kilogram paid by customers, per CEO Yelam Raju. A 1 megawatt system produces 20 kilograms per hour, consuming 8,760 megawatt hours per year at 50 kilowatt hours per kilogram, with water use at 10 liters per kilogram or 3,500 liters a day. Power comes from renewables at 5 cents a kilowatt hour, costing $438,000 per year, while the system's compact design reduces footprint by 50% versus traditional electrolyzers. Economically, a 1 megawatt system costs between $1 and $1.5 million, with $800,000 for electrolyzers, $200,000 for power supplies, and $2 to $500,000 for balance of plant. At $6 to $7 per kilogram, 175 tons yields $1.05 to $1.23 million a year, with costs net between $512,000 and $682,000 profit, making it a 20 to 25% IRR. Fourier's $18.5 million Series A round, led by General Catalyst and Paramark Ventures, reflects investor confidence per TechCrunch. Scaling to 10 megawatts, or $10 to $15 million, produces 1,750 tons a year, or about $10.5 to $12.25 million, creating 50 to 100 jobs and adding $5 to $10 million to local economies. The global electrolyzer market, $5 billion in 2025, reaches $23 billion by 2030, this per Markets and Markets, with Fourier targeting 1 to 2%, or $230 to $460 million. This innovation aligns with conference discussions on cost reduction, though the narrative of easy scalability overlooks supply chain risks, that being 80% of components are sourced from Asia, this per industry experts. Still, Fourier's approach could democratize hydrogen production, supporting industrial decarbonization with lower costs and higher efficiency. All right, that's it for me, everyone. If you have a second, I would really appreciate it if you could leave a good review on whatever platform it is that you listen to. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, YouTube, whatever it is. That would be a tremendous help to the show. And as always, if you ever have any feedback, you're welcome to email me directly at info@thehydrogenpodcast.com. So until next time, keep your eyes up and honor one another.